I'm not unmuting you all. Who doesn't like money? Who doesn't like to make money? And who doesn't like to have a good time? After all, we all work hard. So as the going saying goes, work hard, party hard. But when we do all this in life, we also have to keep a lookout on certain basic responsibilities, certain basic fine points, and certain basic future goals, as we all know. And hence today we've just decided to make this light-hearted quiz called XYZ Money Mania. This is not so much I would like to make this an interactive session. This is definitely not a one-way lecture or a monologue. And I would love to have participants also maybe share their views at the end of it, or if they have any questions. However, they think it is silly, for me it is never silly. So if there's anything that comes to your mind through the various fun slides that we go through, or through the various examples that we will go through in the form of a quiz, please let me know. You can contact us later on also, and it will be a pleasure to talk to you all. My belief is that earlier we start thinking and talking about certain basic financial practices in life, the better. So, Farzin, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All the team members are ready for the quiz?
Guys, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me clearly, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
From the group, let me know. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do is we'll kickstart today's quiz. It's a very basic, a very simple quiz, and it revolves around money, as the title suggests. We have 4 groups here, and each one of you know the rules. You know how it works. You've done many of these before. This is my first time with you young minds. We will ask one question per team, starting obviously with team 1. You will get 20 seconds to answer. This is a multiple choice fun question format. You will be given 20 seconds to answer. So please put your answers or unmute yourself and let us know. 10 points will be awarded for the right answer. And at the end of it, we will also give you a short explanation on what is the right answer and what is the logic. That way, it'll be fun and learning together. We will have 2 such rounds of 4 questions each. So 1 question per team. Then we will go into what is known as the bonus round, where we will ask 1 question per team, and the points that you will get is 20 points for the right answer. In the end, we also have, if we have time, we will go through 2 special questions which we have reserved for the end, and we will also present a quiz where we'll have to name a few institutions. It is called the Name 5 part of the quiz. Here you will be given 30 seconds and you will get 50 points because you have to name 5 different institutions posed in the question. Let's take the first question of round 1, and it will be for group 1. Okay, so here's a question. Jimmy has 10,000 rupees today. His friend borrows it and gives him this 10,000 after 5 years. At that point, after 5 years, Jimmy then has A, more money to spend, B, less money to spend, or the same amount to spend as before. Your 20 seconds starts now. Group 1. Okay, time's up. Group 1, what's your answer?
I think A, more to spend. Guys, others?
No, I think it's C. Same amount as before.
Yeah, I also think it's C.
Guys, answer please. A, B or C? It's all right. We'll tell you all the right answer in the next slide anyway. Take a guess, people. Come on.
I think
C.
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 Okay. Proceeding with option C for you guys. It's the wrong answer. Here is why. 10,000 rupees today and 10,000 rupees after 3, 5, 10 years is very different. What it means is that today, if I have 10,000, you remember there is an old saying, bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So 10,000 rupees today is definitely worth more than if that same amount is given back to you after 2, 3 or 5 years. Simply put, and some of you will probably learn this in your economics, there is something called inflation or महंगाई as we all call it. Inflation is the decrease in the money value or increase in the cost of goods and services that we consume. Very simply, if अगर गुजराती में आप कहिए, so let's take vada pav as an example. Vada pav, if you ate from your favorite stall or your college or school canteen, maybe 5, 7 years ago, it cost $10. Today it may cost a lot more, and later it may cost 20, 25 bucks. So if you look at just a simple example as a vada pav or a burger, which we all do in our real life, we witness, that is called the fall in the value of money or inflation. And hence, if somebody is borrowing 10,000 from you today and without paying you any interest, is repaying the same, it means that you are losing the value of money. Okay, so we move to the second question. Team 2, the second question is for you. You always hear of shares and share market, etc. So the question is, what do shares mean? What do they represent? Do they represent A, share of one's percentage ownership in a company? B, share of a company's board? C, share of company's property? Or D, share in company's employees? Your 20 seconds starts now. Group 2.
I think it's A.
Yeah, it looks like a, yeah.
It's A. Share of one's percentage ownership in a company.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Group 2, 10 points to you. So let's just spend about 30 seconds in shares, on what shares are. When you buy a share, you are actually buying a business. So let's say you're buying a share of Tata Steel. Tata Steel is Tisco, very old Tata Group company. You're actually buying a share, you become a part owner of the company. Even if you buy 100 shares, you become a part owner up to the extent of 100 shares out of the total shares of that company. You are entitled to your share of the profits that it makes, and at the same time also, you have to bear the losses proportionately. If you invest thus in shares of good companies, they will obviously go up over the long period of time and make you money. If you invest in shares of bad companies, they will go down and you will lose money. So it's like you're starting your own business and you're buying a share in that business. Excellent. Well done. Third question to group 3 coming up now. Question 3, what is the difference between gross and net salary? All of us have parents who go to work. At some stage, we will also become employees. If you don't go into your own business, we'll have something called a paycheck. There will be a gross and net salary. Your options are, so what is the difference between gross and net? The difference are A, profession tax, B, provident fund contribution, C, income tax, or D, all of the above. Your 20 seconds starts now.
It's D, all of the above.
Very quick. Excellent. Well done. And the absolutely right answer, D, all of the above. Let's see what it means. So let's take an example. If you, let's say you are getting a monthly salary of 1 lakh, that's what your employer has agreed to pay you. That's 12 lakhs a year. So 12 divided by 12 lakhs by 12 is 1 lakh per month. That's your gross salary. From that, you are supposed to pay, of course, income tax, which your firm will deduct. There will be certain provident fund contributions. These are contributions deducted now and will go into a fund which will be paid to you on your retirement. So you're compulsorily saving part of your gross salary right now. That's the objective. And of course, taxes, provident fund contributions, and what you are left with, what comes in your hand, let's say 75,000, that's a net salary, which you can save, spend, and invest as you please. Great. Question number 4. Group 4. In India, a person's life and medical expenses throughout his lifetime are taken care of by whom? A, the government. B, state employees corporation. C, your employer. Or D, by the person himself. 20 seconds starts now.
It's person.
It's
Person
Person himself.
person himself.
Person, yeah.
Yeah, the person
Yeah.
himself.
Not the government, not the employer.
No. It's
No.
person
No,
himself.
but if it can also depend on the job, right? If you have a government job,
I
then
need
I
one
think
answer. I don't need questions. I need an
It's
answer. Right?
person himself.
person
Person
himself.
himself.
Pakka?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Good one. And we'll explain to you why. So you must be having cousins, friends, relatives abroad in the US, UK. You must have gone there. You must have heard that the people normally complain in India that in it's કેવું મજાનું છે US માં તો બધું state ને London માં ને UK માં તો બધું state medical benefits આપે. Canada, for example, right? That's a classic example. If you injure yourself and you have to go to a hospital, you don't have to pay. You just have to take your social security card, which is your identity number, like your Aadhaar equivalent, and just get yourself admitted, and you'll get world-class treatment for free. What is presumably free at that point. You don't have to shell out anything. But in India, all of this is on your own if you want to do it on your own. Yes, till the time that you are employed with someone, and yes, that was a confusion that one of you had. So till the time that you are employed with someone, a large company or a bank, it is under the group employees schemes, you will be covered. So the employers do bear a cost of that protection till you are employed. But then once you leave the employment, for whatever reason, somebody marries and settles abroad, somebody starts something else, or somebody just just moves out, and he stops being an employee of any corporation, then it stops. And that means that it is very, very essential for each one of us to have a parallel independent plan for life and medical insurance and start at an early age so that you're adequately financially covered. So good, well done. That takes us to round 2. Round 2, again, we kick off with similar questions, same points, and it's 20 seconds each. Group 1, that's for you. Saurabh and Jessica earn 2 lakhs per year. Saurabh is single. Jessica is married to Rustam, who has his own business. They have 2 children. Which of the following statements is correct? So you have to select the correct statement. While investing, A, both can take equal risk. B, Saurabh can take more risk than Jessica. C, Jessica can take more risk than Saurabh. Or D, Saurabh cannot take any risk. 20 seconds starts now.
I think it's B.
Is that your final answer?
Like, where is the rest of my group, Farzi?
I think A, because why would anyone want to take risk and lose their money?
A, B, C, or D? I just need
No,
one.
no. If you consider the fact that Jessica has more liabilities, so and she has
Yeah,
more
that
people to support, she can take lesser risk than Saurabh.
I think A.
I think B. So others in the group, Sanaya, who else?
Saronesh.
It's A છે. Answer A છે.
We'll go with A.
Sorry, guys. You are going with A?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what our expert has to say. Oops. It's B. The answer is Saurabh can take more risk than Jessica, and we'll tell you why. When we talk of risk, it's also important to know what is risk for. Here we are talking of risk of investing and losing part of your investment. So we're talking of that kind of risk. There is nothing you go and hawk somebody and the police comes to your house. When you're looking at investing, each person and each family has to first see his own dependents, his own income stream, etc. So this is a very important point, and I'd like to spend a minute on this. Everybody cannot and will not have the same risk profile. And here we've given classic examples of two individuals. Now Saurabh is single, he has no dependent family member with him, and he can afford to take more risk because there are no liabilities, there are no responsibilities. I mean, he obviously has responsibilities towards himself, but he has it to a lesser degree when you compare with Jessica. Now Jessica is married. Remember, again, if you go back to the question, she's married to a person who has his own business, which may go through ups and downs. There is no fixed, regular, recurring income in any business. And today, as we probably look around with what is happening in the global lockdown, lots of businesses, even small, most of them small businesses, are suffering because of the lockdown. They are not getting any revenue. We are only going through a very tough period where unlock still means that people are not more than 10% attending in offices. People are working from home. Maybe your parents are working from home, etc. So to compare these two individuals, Saurabh has a job, does not have too many responsibilities. Jessica has a family, she has kids, there are monthly bills, and hence she cannot take more risk. So the answer explained in this slide, I hope it's clear. And the risk profile thus, Saurabh can take more risk. Moving on to group 2, question number 6. Rayaman and Firuza want to invest in an asset. Basically, they want to make an investment which they expect to double. As ₹100 mukya, it will become ₹200. What are the factors they should consider before investing? Number of years it will take to double. B, safety of investment. C, liquidity. D, all of the above. Liquidity, take the money out in case you need it in an emergency in between.
It's all of the above.
Yeah, it's all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of the above.
Okay, group 2. Let's see what the right answer is.
Yeah,
Correct. It's all of the above. Absolutely right.
yeah.
And we will explain that. I mean, obviously you know it, but very quickly, you have to first understand double in how many years? Is it doubling in 5 years or 10 years, 15 years? Because when you go into your spreadsheets or if you go into a simple calculator, if money doubles in 5 years, the implied return is much higher. The percentage interest, as you call, or the return is much higher than doubling in 10 years. So, right, that's important. Safety is paramount. Somebody says, I'll double in 6 months. Clearly, there is something wrong out there. You should be aware. I'm sure you've seen the movie Hera Fairy, right? Double ho jayega, this and you know what happens. You're all on the road. And liquidity, means how fast you can sell the assets. So all three are important for investing. Perfect. Well done. Group 3, this is for you. Very simple question, just true or false. Higher the return, higher the risk. True or false?
I think true.
True.
Group final answer?
Yeah, true.
True.
Absolutely. It's absolutely true. The cardinal rule of investing is high return comes with high risk. And I'll give you a classic example. Today, you can invest in a fixed deposit, which will give you, say, 7% return fixed. But if you invest, let's say, in a good company share, that will probably give you 20% return in a year. So, but if that company doesn't do well in the next 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 quarters, COVID happens, whatever may happen in the world, its earnings will fall, and hence the share, instead of going up 20%, may go down 20%. So high return expectations do come with high risk. Absolutely right. It also means that you will probably lose some money initially, and managing that risk is absolutely unavoidable. So in effect, what is the learning from this is that you don't have to put everything in the risk-free basket, and you don't have to put all your investments in the risky basket. You have to spread it across. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Absolutely right. Group 4, question 8 coming to you. Which of these can invest in shares? A, rich industrialists. B, salaried persons. C, CAs or chartered accountants. Or D, anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone, as long as you have a
Anyone.
demat account.
Anyone.
Final answer, group 4?
Yeah.
Anyone, D.
Anyone.
Absolutely right. Anyone can invest. And excellent. I heard somebody talk of demat, and that's absolutely right. Investing in shares, no matter how rich or poor you are, you can buy shares. Why? Because even if a share is, let's say, each share, the price of the share is say $5,000 or $200, you can even buy 100 or 500 shares. That's what we know of. In fact, in the US, you can even buy a fractional share. So you can buy half a share if you want. But in India, so far, that's not the case. Secondly, you need a bank account for transferring money. You need a demat account, absolutely right. And for the benefit of all you guys who don't know what is a demat account, it's exactly like your bank account, where your shares are entered in various denominations. So in a bank account, if you've seen your bank statement, maybe ask your mom or dad to show you a sample. Similarly, you have a demat account which has the names of companies and number of shares which you own. You don't have physical paper shares as the old Babajis had earlier. And third, you need a broking. You need to be connected with a stockbroker. Excellent. So guys, this is where we stand. We've done 2 rounds, and we will now go into the bonus round. This will have 4 questions, and as we stand, we'll probably just take tally of the score so far. Team 1 yet to open their account. Come on, buck up, team 1. You need to have a cup of coffee. Team 2, Team 3, Team 4 all tied at 20 points each. So now we move into the bonus round. We will probably start with the reverse order. Let's go to Team 4 first. This will give you 20 points for the right answer, and we have 30 seconds for you to choose from. Sorry, 20 seconds even in the bonus round. Team 4, this is for you. You are now reversing the order. Team 4, Team 3, Team 21. Identify the safest investment in the 4 options given. A, bank fixed deposit. B, shares. C, Bitcoin. D, government bonds. 20 seconds.
I think A.
FD.
FD, bank fixed deposits.
You have 20 seconds if you want to discuss, or if this is your final answer, let me know.
I think it's government bonds because banks can also get bankrupt, you know. So
That is there, but I don't know. It's just that whenever I just get anything, they're like, oh, make an FD, make an FD, make an FD. So yeah, just goes on in my head half the time.
yeah,
I think it's FD, bank fixed deposit.
FD.
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 Lock kar dein?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have a phone a friend option. So we will lock your answer at A, bank fixed deposits. The correct answer is B, government bonds. This was a bit of a tricky question, and it was meant to confuse you, and I don't blame you. And we'll explain to you why. Somebody mentioned that a bank fixed deposit is the first thing that we think of. This is probably news to you, but in India, if you take the entire country's savings pool, all the savings put together, maximum savings that the country and individuals like you and me have is in bank fixed deposits. Fixed deposits have historically been considered as a safe havens of investments. So the percentage of FDs and government bonds is high. Why is it not safe? And I think you also answered it yourself, is that banks can also go bankrupt. A recent example of this is the PMC Bank. If you've been reading newspapers, you know, last year, a lot of banks, now PMC was a cooperative bank, and it stopped, RBI actually stopped its operations because there were certain misdoings, there were certain malpractices. So they just stopped the bank from functioning temporarily, and they put a freeze on the amount of deposits which could be withdrawn. So suppose you had a 1 lakh rupee deposit there or a 5 lakh rupee deposit because they were giving a slightly better interest. You were stuck. Eventually, they did iron it out. There have also been instances in the past when certain private sector banks have gone belly up. A recent scare, also, if you've been reading the financial news, Yes Bank gave a bit of a jolt last year because their bad assets were so elevated that people were afraid the bank is shut down. Ultimately, State Bank of India took it over and the bank is now functioning. So the correct answer is the government bonds, because the government can never default. Now, you see shares, like we said, go up and down, so I won't waste time on this. Bitcoin is clearly the most volatile and the most less understood cryptocurrency and very, very risky. We talked about bank fixed deposits and how they're risky. Government can never default. Why? Because today whenever you're buying a bond or when you're putting money in a deposit, you are the lender and the opposite person is the borrower. Remember, when you're giving money to, let's say, a Bank of Baroda, when you're opening a deposit of 10,000, you are lending money to the bank, so he becomes your borrower. Now, if he doesn't on-lend it carefully, your money is at risk eventually. But in the case of a government, when you buy their bonds, you are lending money to the government, and even if the government does not have money, it can always print new money. Government is the Reserve Bank of India and the government are the only two institutions which can print money. And hence, even if they run out, if they have to repay say 1,000 crore of bonds, they can easily print that currency and repay, and hence they are the safest. Clear? Okay. Question for group 3 now. A person who is hale and hearty does not need any insurance. True or false? 20 seconds starts now.
False.
I'll repeat the question. A person who is hale and hearty does not need any insurance. True or false?
False.
False. Everybody needs it.
Pakka?
False, yeah.
Correct answer. And this is the answer. This is the rationale. Today you are hale and hearty. Tomorrow you may not be. So insurances, as we saw in the previous slides, are of two types. One is a life insurance and one is a medical insurance or a mediclaim. So just like a newly made brand new building, just because it's brand new, does it not have a need for a fire exit or a fire extinguisher? A large ship, just because it's brand new, you say, no, I don't need lifeboats. How can it sink? And you know what happened to the Titanic? It sank on its first journey. It was its maiden voyage. And at that time, it was supposed to be a masterpiece. It was supposed to be the most sturdy ship made. And it sank on its first voyage. And of course, as you saw in the movie, they didn't have enough lifeboats. A strong soldier, if he says, yeah, I'm strong, I can kill 10 terrorists, but he still needs a bulletproof vest. So insurance is nothing but an umbrella. It's a protection umbrella. And hence, you are hale and hearty now, but there is no guarantee that a calamity cannot strike you in the future. And hence, insurance is not a luxury, but a necessity. So the right answer, and yes, you get your points. Group 2, this is for you. Jamshed and Shireen each earn 50,000 rupees per month. Jamshed spends 45,000. Shireen spends 30,000, but has a credit card limit of 25,000, which is always used. She's always spent that money. Which of the following is true? You have to pick up the true answer. A, Jamshed is a net saver. B, Jamshed and Shireen are same in financial terms. C, Shireen is financially more prudent. D, Jamshed is too conservative. Take your pick. 20 seconds starts now.
I think the answer is D.
Sorry, D for Delhi or B for Bombay?
D for Delhi.
Okay. Your 20 seconds are up. Is that your final answer, guys?
I think the answer is A.
Yeah, same. I think it's A.
A. It's A. It's Jamshed is a net saver. It's A, I guess.
Yeah, even I guess it's A.
A or D, final.
No, but if Jamshed, they're exceeding the card limit.
I do think it's C.
I feel the same now because I guess they're exceeding the card limit.
I think it's C because she's spending less money than him.
No, but eventually they are exceeding the card limit. The card limit is only 25,000.
Correct, but she's still
Yeah.
spending 50 and he's spending 45.
Okay, guys, one final answer. Let's take a pot shot. Who knows? You may be right, you may be wrong.
Jamshed and Shirin are same in financial terms.
So you're going with B?
Yeah, B.
And the correct answer is A.
A.
Jamshed is a net saver. And I'll
Oh.
explain. Again, this forms part of the bonus questions. It is, I don't blame you. We have deliberately put some real life situations which you and I may have heard of. And the explanation is very simple. Now look at what both of them, right? They're both earning 50,000, that's clear. Jamshed is spending 45, so he's spending 5 per month. Very clear. I mean, this is simple math. Now what does Shirin do? Shirin is getting 50 per month. She spends 25. Sorry, she spends 30, right? But she also has a credit card limit which is always used up. So that means she's always spent and she has to repay the credit card company 25,000. It's a floating dagger on her head. So her total expense is 30,000, which she must be paying in cash, whatever, plus 25,000. So she earns 50, but she's spending 55. So her net, she's net out of the money. She's total income is 50, total spend is 55. And hence she's minus 5,000, whereas Jamshed is a net saver of 5,000. Now this is a very simple example for all of us to kind of understand the concept of credit card. A credit card is given to us with a limit, and we are sometimes it's very advantageous. I mean, I'm a big user of credit cards myself, but remember that is the money which is your future income which you've spent today. You have to then pay back the credit card company. Let's you've gone for a movie, you've bought some stuff, whatever it is. The total expenditure is 25. It is your contingent liability. So people who are on this group who are commerce students, when you look at the balance sheet, the company will show contingent liability. In simple words, I paisa mane koi nahi appa na chahiye future ma. And hence Shirin has overspent, whereas Jamshed has been living within his means. Maybe he has cut a few expenditures which he cannot afford right now. Maybe till his salary goes up, and hence he's been quite a net saver. So that's the answer. Okay, we move on to the next question. Group 1, this is your chance to open your account. Question 12, which of these is a financial goal? A, to own a Ferrari. B, to provide for one's marriage. C, to provide for child's education. D, to create a charity trust. Or E, all of the above. 20 seconds starts now.
I think it's all of the above because at the end of the day, you need money for each and every one of those things.
Go through the choices clearly. To own a Ferrari, to provide for a marriage, provide for a child's education, to create a charity trust, and all of the above.
Group 1, other people?
I
What do you
think
guys
it's
think?
D.
Twenty seconds up. Final answer, guys. Come on. Think hard. It's not that tough.
It could be C.
It could be A, B, C also. It could be D and E. That's why it's a multiple choice.
I think all of the above.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lock it up.
Yep.
Correct answer. All of the above. Excellent. Now, the reason we put the D one was to confuse you all again and to get you thinking. The first three are pretty obvious. Even if a Ferrari costs a crore or whatever, it's still a goal. To provide for one's marriage is a goal. There is a goal is a future objective. It's something which we will need. Sorry. To provide for a child's education is a goal. To create a charity trust also becomes a goal. Let's take the example of a single person who has no responsibilities, very low risk profile, earns very well. Whom will he leave that money to? He will leave it for charity. Let's say people have various charities in mind to feed the poor, for educating girl children. We live in so many bags all across Bombay. They were created from charity trusts, right? So that itself is a financial goal. A financial goal is thus what you hope to achieve, and it requires some money to achieve that. And to accumulate this sum, you must save and invest currently that goal. So absolutely right answer. Well done, group one. It was confusing, but you finally came out victorious. Okay, great. Let's see the scores now. At the end of round one, round two, and the bonus round. So we have team 3, which is at 40 points, which is leading right now. And interestingly, we have team 1, team 2, and team 4 all tied up at 20 points. So we go into the name 5 round, which will give you 30 seconds per question. We will now start with team 1. We're going back to the original order. And the first question comes to you here. You will get 50 points for this, which means you have to name 5 public sector banks. If you get 2 right, you'll get 20 points. So your 30 seconds starts now. Think over it and give me the answers.
State Bank.
State Bank of what?
State Bank of India, obviously.
State Bank of India.
Then Allahabad Bank.
Central Bank.
Central Bank is an institution.
No.
You need to name 5 public sector banks or government banks. Let me put it that way.
Bank of Baroda, Bank of India,
State Bank of India.
Bank of India also. Syndicate Bank.
Okay, guys.
Then Canara Bank.
Okay, you get 50 points. Because if you name 10 or 7 of them, you won't get 70 points. Very well done. Very well done. Excellent. I am impressed. So, team 1, group 1 rather, team 1, whatever, 50 points to you. Well done. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yes, public sector banks are those banks which are where the government of India is the majority holder. These banks were formed maybe 50, 70, 100 years ago. State Bank of India, somebody said, yes, it was earlier called the Imperial Bank of India. It was formed even before India's independence. Under the Act, it was called the Imperial Banks Act. And it was formed when the British used to rule India. Later on, after independence, it became the State Bank of India. And the Act was also amended to be known as the State Bank of India Act. So a public sector bank is a Sarkari bank. It is something which where the government has a majority ownership. And the Indian financial sector owes a lot to the public sector banks because remember after independence in 1947, India definitely needed to come up to speed with its own destiny and financial sector was very important. Not only that, India suffered a lot of droughts and wars after independence and the reach of these banks into the remotest of villages was required and that was achieved by all these banks. So State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Central Bank, Syndicate Bank, you can go on and on. So very well done. Team 2, next question coming up to you. Stay tuned. Name any 5 private sector banks in India. You have 30
HDFC Bank, ICICI, IDBI, IDFC, and
Greater Bank.
And Axis Bank, HSBC.
no, HSBC is foreign. That's not private sector.
Okay.
So can any one of you just tell me 5 names which I can note?
HDFC, ICICI, IDBI, IDFC, and Yes Bank.
Axis Bank.
Did you say Axis and Yes Bank both?
No, I don't think.
Final
Yeah,
5.
Axis Bank, Axis Bank,
Axis Bank.
HDFC, ICICI, IDBI, IDFC.
Okay, so I will repeat. Your final answer is Axis, HDFC, ICICI, IDBI, and IDFC.
Yes.
Sure? These are your final 5?
Yeah.
Alicia, IDBI is not a private bank.
Private. I thought so.
IDBI is not a private bank. HDFC.
HDFC.
HSBC.
HSBC is not a private sector bank. It's a foreign bank. It's not an Indian bank.
But it will still come under private.
Private sector. That's what I said.
Doesn't come under private sector.
It will. It will. Because
Okay, then give it.
Okay. Somebody wants to give me the last final 5 banks that you think as a group will fit the answer?
Federal Bank instead of IDBI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a private sector bank.
Okay. So, no, so you still need to tell me your final 5.
guys, one person, please
Yeah,
list
okay.
down all the answers.
Axis
one guy.
Bank, Axis Bank,
Mm-hmm.
HDFC,
Mm-hmm.
ICICI,
Mm-hmm.
this one, which one was it?
Federal.
Federal Bank.
Mm-hmm.
How many was that? 4 now.
Yes.
And Yes Bank.
Okay, brilliant. Yes, correct answer. 50 points to you all. Axis, HDFC, and here I'm presuming you're saying HDFC Bank because there's also another HDFC Limited. So I'm presuming I'm giving you the benefit of doubt. ICICI Bank, absolutely. Federal, yes. I mean, Federal is the correct answer, and Yes Bank is also the yes here. It's good you dropped out IDBI because that was floated by IDBI Limited. It converted into a bank, and like
Uncle, you're on mute.
yeah, sorry, I think we just dropped out and we've come in again. Can you see the slide?
No, not yet.
Okay, hold on.
No.
No, hold on. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So team 3, name any 5 insurance companies in India.
LIC insurance.
Just tell me when you're ready and I'll take a paper and pen and note it.
LIC, Max Life, Max Bupa, Tata AIG is there.
Tata AIA, right?
AIA, right.
HDFC, Standard Life Insurance or something like that.
LIC of India.
LIC is done.
ICICI has I think it's
Insurance.
Bajaj
ICICI
Allianz.
Insurance.
Okay. Well done. Well done. Indeed, well done. Excellent. All the answers are right. So you start. Somebody mentioned LIC. Absolutely. The question is not about public or private sector. We're talking of 5 insurance companies in India, and you guys are absolutely right. We have LIC, which is the I would say the father of all life insurance companies in India. Still commands a market share of more than 50-60% or maybe even more, 70%. You have Max Life, Max Bupa. You said Tata AIA. There's also a Tata AIG, HDFC Standard Life, and Bajaj Allianz. Just spending a minute here, as I said, there are 3 types of insurance companies. One is life insurance. So you have a category of life insurance companies led by Life Insurance Corporation of India, or LIC. You have ICICI Prudential Life. You have Bajaj Allianz Life. So these are all, again, here in insurance we had, it was dominated earlier by the public sector, all sponsored by the government. New India Assurance, Oriental Insurance, National Insurance, all these are insurance companies floated by the government of India, majority holders. And then came in the private sector about 20 years ago when the sector was opened up. And you had all the large banks who wanted to expand their financial services business. So ICICI started its 2 subsidiaries, one in life insurance called ICICI Prudential, and one in general insurance called ICICI Lombard. And hence you see Max Bupa and Max Life, and so on and so forth. Maybe you might be pleasantly surprised to hear that there are more than 35 to 40 private sector insurance companies in both general insurance and in life insurance. So in India, because we have probably one of the largest populations in the world, we also need that kind of network. And also, I would like to share that yet, despite there being so many companies, in India, the penetration of insurance products is the lowest, one of the lowest in the world. Simply because when we went on to the Hale and Hardy slide, or when we went on to the previous slides of this presentation or the quiz, people are either unaware or people are complacent, they have inertia, and they feel that nothing can happen to me, so why bother? Or some people just feel that group insurance company, why do I waste money? So that because of these myths, despite there being so many insurance companies, the penetration is even lower than Thailand and Malaysia or some of the other Asian countries, leave alone US and UK. So anyway, this I thought was just a trivia which I should share with you. Good. So we move to team 4. Team 4, very interesting question for you. Name any 5 currencies of the world, excluding India, and not more than 2 should be from the same continent. So 5 currency names and not more than 2 from the same continent. So if you're talking of Asia, you can't have 3. When ready, let me know. I'll take a note.
US dollar,
Australian dollar,
euro.
pounds,
That yeah. You can say pounds now due to Brexit.
Yemen. Sorry.
Yen is
Yen.
it's Asia. It's Asia.
Yeah, it's Asia.
Asia 2 done then.
Hong Kong.
All good?
Francs, dirham.
Take your time. You have time. No worries.
Uncle, are the 2 of Europe done?
Be asking you questions. You give me a final 5. No hints allowed, unfortunately. That's what the rules say.
New Zealand dollar.
I'm writing. This is the 6th currency that you have mentioned. I'm writing it all down. I need the final 5. It's very simple. 5 currencies excluding India and not more than 2 per continent.
Francs.
I'm writing this as the 7th currency, francs. Okay.
So we got francs. Then we got yen.
So I'll just read through the list which you all gave me. US dollar, Aussie dollar, euro, pounds, yen, New Zealand dollar, and francs. I don't know where the francs are from. Which country? You have a country in mind? Where are the francs from?
No, no.
So which are the final 5 you'd like to go with?
US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll go for Aussie.
Okay.
Then we'll go for yen.
Pound. Okay.
And rupiah.
No, no, excluding.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry.
India.
No, but that's Pakistan. Okay, one sec.
So you got 3 in the bag right now. US dollar, Aussie dollar, British pound. You need 2 more.
Dirham
Dirham. Okay.
and baht. If my 2 Asia are done.
Baht. Baht is from which country?
Is
Thailand.
Thailand.
Okay. Okay, so that's your final 5. Aussie dollar, US dollar, pound, dirham, and Thai baht. Correct?
Yeah.
Final 5?
Yeah.
Or you want to go for the yen or the New Zealand? Drop those?
Yeah, drop those.
Okay, good. Right answer. All 5 are right. Dollar is from the US. Aussie dollar clearly from Australia, New Zealand. It's a continent by itself, so that's good.
Yeah.
Pound, great. Technically, it's UK. You can call it Europe. So you could have clubbed it with the euro as well. You have Thai baht, which is from Asia, and you have dirham, which is from the Middle East. Now, very quickly, I think there was some confusion on francs. Whoever said francs used to exist in France, but they have since been converted to the euro. So if you know, if you've gone on trips anyway. So first of all, it's good that in these COVID times we have all today moved around the world for free. We've done a virtual tour by naming these countries. But UK, while was part of Europe, they did not join the common currency called euro when it happened. So it was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And as somebody rightly mentioned, they have in fact now stepped out of the European Union also in terms of the trade agreements. So that is what the Brexit was all about. So Britain exiting Europe was called Brexit. So when Europe came together, all the countries, including France, Germany, Netherlands, Austria, they all came together. Switzerland, they all formed the Eurozone. They formed a common market so that they didn't have to tax each other's goods. There was free movement of goods moving from Maharashtra to Gujarat. I mean, big deal. It's the same country. So they formed one common trade union called the European Union. They in fact have a common parliament also, as if you know, it sits in Brussels. The EU, but said we want to keep our own currency. We don't want to lose the pound. So that's what they did. And I think after about 10-15 years of the euro running, they are saying for whatever reason that we don't want to be part of this European common market. So we are stepping out of it. So well done. Full marks, team 4. We'll just take tally of the scores. And just one sec. We'll take a short break here. So just okay, guys, we're back on. We just wanted to take tally of the scores as we stand. So at the end of round 1, round 2 and the round 3, which was the bonus round. Guys, I'm audible, right? You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Team 1 stands at 70 points. Team 2 is also tied up with 70 points. Team 3 is at 90 points. And Team 4 is also at 70 points. We need a serious tiebreaker here. And hence we have 2 open questions. These questions are open to all. It is like a rapid fire round. Whoever puts his yes or some indication in the chat that you are ready to answer, maybe with a Y or whatever, whosoever name appears in the chat first will get the right to answer the question. The points for this are 20 points for this. There are 2 open questions, and there are, let's say not 20, let's put it as a 50-point question. Whoever answers it right gets 50 points. So there are 2 such questions. We'll open it up now. Be ready. It's like a buzzer round. So I want whoever comes first in the chat, whatever you type, will get the right to answer that question. Are you ready, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one coming up. All mutual funds are very risky because they invest in shares. True or false? Okay. Group 4 said yes first. And so we will give them the right to answer this question. Yes, please go ahead. Group 4.
False. False.
Okay. Is that final?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And any rationale you would like to give? I mean, you don't have to, but is there any thought behind this?
No.
It's a
See,
tukkar.
it is they put it in shares. That's why it becomes risky. Otherwise, I don't think mutual funds in general, like just not put in shares, pose any harm.
Okay, read the question again very clearly. All mutual funds are very risky because they invest in shares. True or false?
False.
Is that the final answer, group? You want to discuss it, or is it final?
Oh, I think it's false one.
Okay, final answer false. Should I open up the answer?
Yeah.
Correct answer. Can you get 50 points? Well done. All mutual funds are risky because they are very risky because they invest in shares is false. And the reason is very simple. Mutual funds are pooled instruments. They take small amounts from various people, pool the money into various schemes, and they invest. They invest not just in shares, but in also different asset classes like gold, bonds, short-term paper, etc. So here the idea is to understand the concept of mutual funds. Mutual funds, as we understand, or as the common myth is, that they're very risky. Baba eloko to shares man aake, my father has invested, my grandfather invested, he lost money. Nahi baba, money nothing naku. I want to put money only in a fixed deposit. That's it. That's wrong. Mutual funds are not all risky. Even mutual funds come with different categories of risk. There are certain risk-free, literally zero risk funds, which are short-term bond funds. There are medium-term or there are ultra-short-term funds which invest in bonds. There are short-term funds which invest in bonds. And there are long-term bond funds. So these are all bond funds. Long-term bond funds also are a little risky. But the riskiest of all the mutual funds are shares, those which are equity mutual funds. But that doesn't mean all the mutual funds invest in shares. Besides, there are also different categories of funds like arbitrage funds, hybrid funds, etc. But anyway, the purpose of this quiz is not to do a PhD in mutual funds. It is just to get a broad brush. कि બધા mutual funds માં પૈસા નાખે ને ડૂબી જાય એવું નથી. There are risky funds like equity funds, and there are quite riskless funds like short-term funds, short-term bond funds. Well done, excellent. So we move to the next question. Again, rapid fire. This is the last question in our quiz today. Same rules apply. Fastest fingers first. Be ready on your chat. and we are going to open up the question. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Net worth stands for what? A, value of my jewelry. B, my bank balance. C, my PPF balance or provident fund balance. D, total savings minus loans. A, B, C, or D. And let's say who's the first? Is that group 2, which is the first? Hold on.
Group 3.
Group 3, I'm sorry. Is that Astad? Group 3.
Yeah, this is me.
Astad, group 3. Yes, please go on. What's
So
your answer?
that's total savings minus loans. Like what I owe versus what I have. So that's my net worth.
Net worth, not your jewelry, not your bank balance, not your PPF. You're saying it's total savings minus loans. Is that a final answer?
Yeah.
Pakka.
Haji.
Fantastic. And the correct answer is yes, it's total assets minus loans. Absolutely right. Net worth, net meaning net of something, right? So let's say today I have a house, I have a car, I have a holiday home, I have shares. I'm a wealth person, I have bank balance, I have provident fund. All these are my assets. So again, commerce students will know balance sheet has two sides. Any company's balance sheet or any individual's balance sheet. Balance sheet એટલે તારી પાસે કેટલા પૈસા છે. So that has two sides. One is the assets and one is the liability. Credit card dues, home loan. Those are liabilities. Correct. So if my assets are 100 and my liabilities are 80, my net worth is 20. Absolutely. So the fun fact here is that Amazon's co-founder Jeff Bezos today is now the richest man in the world, and he has a net worth of 172 billion US dollars. So that's your net worth. Excellent. So guys, very well done. We come to the end of our quiz today. I'm sure we had a few glitches in the beginning. Sorry for that. But I think as we went along, I'm sure you would have enjoyed and learned also a few things, which definitely will form the bedrock of your future planning. We believe, so we run a firm called Ethical Advisors, and we believe in planning. Like in exams, you can't just go एक दिवस study કરીને પછી नहीं जवाय, study करवा वगर नहीं जवाय. In life, we consider life as an exam for each one of us. As we move through various stages in life, we will get responsibilities, we will get certain resources, we will progress. But it's very important to keep your eyes on the long-term planning. Make sure that you are planned for future contingencies or for future goals, and make sure that you start early. That is our message to all of you. And we'll be very happy to answer any questions if you want to come to us separately on our chat on our website. So anyway, the purpose of today's interaction was the quiz, and we have the final tally. Team 3 with 140 is number 1, the winners, followed by Team 4 with 120 points, and a tie between Team 1 and Team 2 at 70. So I don't think there is any winner here or any loser. I think the general questions, the answer to most of the questions, and the awareness on the entire group was salutary. I was expecting much lower scores, and I'm very, very pleasantly surprised that as XI or as future businessmen, future professionals, future high-flying executives, you guys are on a good path and you have started well. You are fairly aware of various financial terms, which maybe quite a few of your senior counterparts may not be aware. So well done. Congratulations, Team 3, for getting the highest score. But equally important, all of you have done well, and all of you are fairly well conversant. And I don't see any reason why you should not do well going forward in financial terms in the future, as far as your own planning goes. So guys, with this, we end today's session with a couple of case studies. Again, very simple scribblings, I would say. Again, laying on the same concept of long-term planning. Here is a Mr. Complacent who is the sole breadwinner of the family. He's a father of 2 children. He earns very well. He earns 50 lakhs a year, spends 45 lakhs of that. His investments are in a property. He owns a flat of 2 crores. He's just bought a new flashy car for 30 lakhs. He has about 5 lakhs in fixed deposits and a bank balance of 1 lakh. If you look at his protection, he has a life cover of about 20 lakhs and a mediclaim of 5 lakhs for all 4. Which is giving you a small example between 2 case studies. Mr. Complacent comes upon some bad times. Again, like we said, protection is the need of the hour. COVID has really changed things for all of us, and we have to really think of our protection. Now, unfortunately, his wife undergoes a major illness. It's unforeseen, so nobody had planned for it. And he also lost his job. So the impact is severely negative. While you've seen the previous slide, he earns quite well, but he's lost his job. He has property and has a flashy car, but his liquid assets are very low. He has an FD of just 5 lakhs and a bank balance of 1 lakh. More importantly, his life cover is very low. So God forbid today he dies, his wife will get only 20 lakhs as a what do you call proceeds. And more importantly, he's been in a foreign bank where the bank had a good Mediclaim plan, which was coming as part of his perquisites. Today he doesn't have a job, so he doesn't have that covered, and so he doesn't even. And his own floater is only 5 lakhs, so he has to break his FD or break his deposits to pay for the wife's bills, and he has to make dramatic changes in his lifestyle because till he gets into a new job with an equal pay or better, he has to prune down his expenses. On the other hand, you have a similar Mr. Prudent, same income stream, same expense stream, but he is slowly, he also has property of 2 crores. But look at the difference here. He has mutual funds, which of about 50 lakhs. He has tax-free bonds, which he has saved up, where he gets some kind of passive income or second income, about 50 lakhs. So even if you take 8% on that, he's getting 4 lakh per annum easily. It's money is earning for him. So today, even if his job stops, some passive income is there. He has a bank balance of 3 lakhs. He has already planned his retirement in his working life. He's already planned कि 20 वर्ष पछि मैंने आटला लाख आटला करोड़ आवाज है. So he's been tucking away money there. Last part, very important. He has a very healthy life insurance cover of 3 crore. So he's made sure that since he's the only, read below case 2, he's the sole breadwinner of the family. He's the only guy, and God forbid he dies in an accident, his wife and kids are not left on the street. The previous guy had only 20 lakhs of cover. Imagine, today he's spending 45 lakhs on the family. Even if it brings it down to half, if he dies, it's only 20 lakhs for the previous guy. This guy is leaving behind 3 crores for his family, which can see them through for the next at least 10-15 years. He's provided for their future in his absence. And he has a very good mediclaim floater of 1 crore for all 4. Consequently, if a similar calamity strikes him, he also loses his job, his wife also falls sick, he doesn't have to bother if you look at his mediclaim, it's more than enough to cover for the sickness. He doesn't have to break any of his investments. And he's very much alive. He's looking for a new job. He may start his own business. These are not things meant to scare you, or things meant to put you down, or things meant to demotivate you. This is only a case fair protection for future contingency is what we're discussing. Insurance, again for commerce students, insurance means ensuring that in future you don't have to go into a calamity. When fire strikes somewhere, you have a fire hydrant ready. That's all. That fire hydrant is your planning. That's your insurance. So that's the limited purpose of giving these 2 examples. So guys, we just end the session with the XYZ money mantra. Extravagance, avoid it. Like we saw in the case of Mr. Complacent, avoid extravagance. Don't spend beyond your earnings. Don't spend beyond your means. Why? Stands for why not start early? I remember one of my friends, when he was in college, used to tuck away 50 rupees a month, which he used to get as pocket money out of his pocket money from his father. He used to just tuck it away into a piggy bank at that time. So why not start early? Enjoy. When you start saving early, you compound your returns also earlier. And Z stands for that zest or the energy you should have in your own future planning. So that's the XYZ mantra. Avoid extravagance, why not start early, and have zest in your own future planning. So when you guys start earning, when you guys start, even if it's a small stipend, it is never too early to start. It's never too late to start either. But those guys who start early always reap the benefits over the long period of time. So guys, with that we end today's session. Hope you had a good time. These are our contact details. As you know, I'm not just a practitioner, but we are also active members and volunteers of XYZ. Our own son was part of the XYZ. He's now part of XSite. And XYZ is very close to our heart. And anything that you have any questions or doubts, please drop us an email or a WhatsApp, or come on to our website. Our website, which is noted here, ethicaladvisors.in, is a goldmine of information, largely short videos which we have created. We could not cover all the topics today for obvious reasons, and we also wanted to make it a fun session. But there are multiple videos, there are multiple long webinars. All these can be accessed on our website if you want. And if you want to contact us, that is also a good medium to go on that contact us page or write to us on WhatsApp. So guys, we end today's session. Thanks for being a patient audience. Thanks for being a lively audience. And I hope you guys had a good time.
Thank you, Anush and Dick Uncle, for taking out your time and having this seminar. That was very interactive, and we learned.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Cheers.